Mercelline Kagelista, and this is OSTV Digital. I welcome you to Youths and on the Wheels show, and it has been an exciting moment. We have had different episodes on youth and leadership. We have had leaders here who have talked, who have spoken about their experiences in different areas in leadership. And today we are also privileged as we cover about this topic, leadership. We are winding up on it, and I have greater leaders here who are young people in different institutions, and they are here to tell us their story, their background, their challenges, and everything that they have seen in their leadership roles. And so I welcome you to the show. We have Marion, we have Francis and Hope, and I would just like you to tell us your names and the roles you play in leadership, in your different institutions. Just introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Hope. I'm from Technical University of Mombasa. I'm the current deputy president, and I can say my role is leading the students and to make sure I understand about their welfare and to provide them with whatever they may need in terms of difficulties and how I can be able to help them in their academic life.
Oh, wow.
I'm Francis Kimani. I'm coming from Kenya Coast National Polytechnic. I've been leading a union in Christian Union institution. I've been the chairperson for the last 1 year, but I handed over recently. My role there was really the CEO operates like an organization, and also it's a union also. And therefore, it's just we just coordinate with other leaders, and we ensure that we take it as a church also at some point, because the institution also have some regulation, and also it gives us some limits to how we can operate in the school. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. My name is Marion Favor. I'm from the University of Nairobi, Mombasa campus, and I'm in charge of music and also Bible study. And also in the CU, in the Christian Union, I am in charge of the praise and worship department. So my role basically is on the spiritual aspect, taking care of the welfare of the spiritual needs of the students in the school, apart from all the other academic needs of the students, and also representing the school in music during different events out of the school. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to talk about leadership. Some people say that leaders are born. Some say, I don't know. People have different definitions and the way they see leadership. So we would like to know your experience as a leader. How did you start being a leader? Your background of being a leader.
Okay. Well, I would say leadership. I wouldn't say leadership is you're born a leader, because you might actually lack experience when you're young. You might not be even interested in being a leader, but once you get the ambition, or rather the purpose to be a leader, that's when you become one. So I'd say, like, from my experience, I started leadership in campus. That is when I actually loved the idea of being a leader. I felt like maybe I should be a leader in the school. Maybe I have something I'd like to achieve, or something that I'd like to do for the school that has not yet been done. Yeah.
And before they say something, you told us you are the deputy president.
Yes.
Wow. How did you get there? Because I know there are politics there and a lot of things.
I would say politics is not easy. First thing, it's not easy. It's a very tough journey. And I would say also the political aspect of being a leader, it's very challenging. In fact, people will not like you, others will like you, so you have to really fight for it. And it has been a journey since, I think, last year September. It was a very tough experience. But once you get there, you actually feel the benefit, and you actually feel how you can actually help students. For the first time I actually tried it. It's actually like politics, national politics. There's no difference, in fact. But the only difference that you're doing it in an institution, a small institution. Yeah, it's a good thing. I think I will also maybe advocate for Francis and Marion to try us. It will be nice for them as
The
well.
experience.
Yeah.
Well, I've also had some experience. I studied leadership back in high school. Right when I was just in the form when I was just I was enrolled in the form 1 intake. I started leading this at that level of student leader. I was the class prefect. I also led the CU in the institution. I've led some posts in guidance and counseling. I've also led also as a deputy president in my high school time. And coming to college, I had that inspiration to continue the leadership. And therefore, by God's grace, I was also elected in as the chairperson in the Christian Union. Especially, I was just the first year, but I got that opportunity, and I thank God for that. About politics, this year we had elections in our school, and therefore I was going for the presidential seat in our institution, but unfortunately I was not vetted out. There's something that happened in the process, but I thank God. It was a very nice experience.
You are an opposition.
No, not really, but I really agree with whatever hopes I've said. It's really a tough one. It's a tough journey, especially being a student, and you don't even have an experience. It's like a political, the ones you see even national. So I really agree with her.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, I started being a leader in high school when I was elected by the students of Matuga Girls High School to become the cheerleader of journalism club, because I believe due to the gift that I had of broadcasting and all that. So by the time I became the leader, it taught me a lot about leadership. And in Form 2, I was also elected to become the chair lady of Bible study in the Christian Union. And in Form 3, I was again elected to become the chair lady of the prayer and intercessory department in the Christian Union. So when I finished high school and I joined campus first year, I joined at the time that the other board was leaving, the other officials, and they were bringing in new leaders. And I was just new, but they elected me in as the leader of praise and worship. Then as years went by, second year, the executive board elected me to represent the music of the school to other campuses. And then later on, I was elected again to become the leader of the Bible study. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. And now I feel good to interact with young leaders because I know you're also the leaders of tomorrow. But anyway, I would you have talked about your experiences. What are kind of the qualities that you see it's good for a leader to have, that you use and you also recommend to other leaders? Qualities of a good leader.
Okay. I would say one quality of a good leader should have integrity. That's one thing. Integrity is very, very important because the ability to be honest to your people and to actually tell them what it is at that point, I think integrity is one of them. Also, I'd also say good decision making. Decision making is good based on the fact that you'll get a lot of problems, a lot of situations that need good decision making. Yeah, so for me, I'd advocate for those are the main qualities that I would advocate for a good leader to have. Yeah.
Thank you. So I also want to add something on integrity, and also say it's a very crucial quality to any leader. Integrity and also character, and to add on it empathy, and also to self-realization to someone. As a leader, you should first of all know yourself, and you know your weaknesses and your strength. So I think on the point of integrity, what it means, my definition of integrity is oneness, whereby you're able to be one, that in any decision that you make, people will know you for a certain thing that you do. Without having any doubt, maybe Francis will do this and this. No, it's very bad. And I think a lot of leaders, especially in this age that we are, don't understand the meaning of integrity. We just know that integrity is all about not being a corrupt person, but it's a point of whereby people will trust you on whatever maybe vision that you show them. People will have that trust in you. Like whatever you say, you'll be able to accomplish. Whether it's good or whether it's big or whether it's small, that is what we define as integrity. The ability to be one in everything that you do. Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, I strongly believe that as a leader, you need to have an understanding heart. Because when you even look at our role models in leadership, even in the Bible, like Solomon, he asked for an understanding heart. What it means by an understanding heart, you need to understand the people that you're leading. Because the people that you're leading, each and every person that you're leading, you do not treat them the same way you treat the other person, because people are different. There's a way you treat the people who are depressed, there's a way you treat bitter people, there's a way you treat people with anger. So the people that you're leading, even the leaders that are under you, you need to know how to treat them. So I believe as leaders, we need to ask God for an understanding heart, so that we will be able to understand the people we are leading.
Yeah. Yes, I agree on that, on this whole aspect that you've shown us today. And you know, some leaders get into leadership because of some benefits that they encounter in that leadership. Maybe, okay, I can use in Kenya, because most of the Kenyans, especially young people, cry each and every time that they walichochewa wakamchagua alafu hakufanya anything. So some people eye for leadership just because of the benefits. Okay, in other words, do we have any benefits of being a leader? Hope, have you encountered some benefits of being a leader?
I would say for my case, yes. Yes, there's so many benefits. I would not lie in front of you. There's so many benefits, especially in being a deputy president in my institution. It's a very big privilege. There's so many benefits in terms of monetary purposes, in terms of how you do things in school. You have that freedom of doing things. You're not like just any other student. You have also the right to advocate for things to be done. Yeah, I'd say in terms of benefits, I have seen the benefits, and that I think that is one of the things that actually makes people want to go there. But that should not be the reason. But that's one of the main things that pushes young people, because you even find young people vying for MCA seats, and you know, anajua hapo there's money. So I'd say it depends on how you are. If you want to go there for benefits and you get there, that's on you, but also you should go there with a purpose, to help someone, to help a generation.
Because benefits is another advantage. What are some of the benefits you have got?
I also agree. There's a lot. There's a very big. It's a big opportunity, and it has so many privileges. But one of the things that I will say about the privileges and the benefits that we get in leadership is that one, a personal benefit. Maybe you as Francis, like me as Francis, what will I benefit at the end of the day? Because money will come, it will go. Some privilege, you know, going for vacation, you'll be funded to go to certain areas and enjoy the moment. But at the end of the day, we will only remain with Francis, and you'll have to hand over that post one day. And therefore, I will just say about the personal benefit that I really, maybe at my point, I had. There's this quote that really motivates me, and I work with. You only know yourself by outpouring yourself to the service of others. So the moment you continue serving people and having that heart to serve, you continue knowing yourself, because everybody is a leader. The difference that makes us, the difference that, you know, distinguishes us and maybe creates that gap is the ability and the kind of influence we have to the areas that God has entrusted us to be into. So at that personal level, you get to benefit, you get to know how to handle pressure, you know, you get to know yourself better, because as some characters, they will only be there's these things that I really like listening to Dr. Monroe, and he says character will reveal who you are. It's only it's power. Power is going to reveal who you are. When you're given power, you're going to see the real Francis. You can be just like any other person, but when you're given power, even to some leaders, they are very good when they show those, they desire and they start, they bring their manifestos and they have very good intention to our communities and to our people. But once they have power, it changes it changes everything. Yes, because it kind of reveals that person in you, and also it helps you. The moment that you get to know it, you get to work on it. That's the main goal, and that's the agenda of the day.
Yeah, but I agree with you on that. I mean, most of us leaders, when we get into leadership, we put so much focus on the benefits. But one thing we need to know is that as a leader, when you're leading a team, the priority should be the benefit of the people that you're leading, the team itself. It should, I think leaders should have the we mindset rather than the I mindset. Most of the leaders, even beginning from the politicians of this generation, the people that we elect into office in our nation, Kenya, most of them get into there with the I mindset. What can I gain? Instead of what can we as Kenyans? So I think that's where most of the leaders go wrong, because we need to know that a successful leader is not just successful because he becomes rich when he got into leadership, but a successful leader is one who is a problem solver. Because successful people are problem solvers. So what a leader needs to do is just like business. When you're beginning a business, you need to find out the demand, the need. So when you're getting into leadership, I believe our leaders, for example, the leaders of this nation of Kenya, they need to find out what is the need of Kenyans. What, like we as leaders of youths, of the young people, we need to get to know what is the need of the young people of this generation. What do young people really need? Then from there we are good to go.
And okay, talking about needs of the young people, most of the time, but I hear so many young people complaining, and they will be the first people to go for maandamano. They will complain that the leaders they chose are not catering for their needs. So, okay, in your leadership, what have you seen some of the things that young people go through in your leadership, for example?
Well, I would say for my case, what the challenges I've seen students going through, or rather young people, they go through issues, academic issues, they go through drugs issues, and you find they have a lot of depression. Some of them even go through anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and then to a point that they're not even able to focus, so it becomes a challenge. So they expect you to do something about it, which I think in terms of academic matters, you have to help them. That's the first priority. For me as a student leader in school, I have to make sure the academic part of their life has to be catered for first. Then later, maybe after I deal with the academic part of their life, now I can now focus on other sides. So you can also find there's a point whereby a student has issues. Some young students, or rather young people, they have problems. Some of them are even into drugs, they have so many issues. So you have to also try to mentor them. You mentor them, teach them how to do this. You have to even remove them from that pit of whereby they use drugs. To deal with issues with drugs is just, it's difficult, but you have to actually help them at that point.
Okay, to you.
It's kind of challenging, and especially in our setup, the one that we are in our institution now, that, and also counting that we are also young people. Without forgetting that we're also trying to explore some things, and we are getting also we are like in their situation. It's only that God has privileged us to be in a certain position where it will also helps discipline you in a certain way. So I would say, when coming maybe to campus, you've been given two things. You've been given freedom, and you're very fresh to go and explore and try out many things and all that. And the way that I would say we are designed is we are designed to be in a comfort zone, you see, and therefore we meet new challenges in our life. We are just coming from home where we used to be given everything. Our parents are the one who are budgeting things out, and therefore you're just coming here and you have this now, the academic pressure, your social life, how your friends and many other things, and you have your peers also there. and therefore this motivates them to different challenges, and they try to find solution. Now that's where the issue of drugs come in.
Yeah.
That's where the issue of maybe people reacting in different ways, even the maandamano. To some of them, it's only that there's something that happened in our school when I was in high school. People were striking, and therefore I summoned the form force that we are there. I told them, even you are joining the form 1 and the form 2, and you are participating in the striking, and you are a form 4. And then one of them, it came from a very unexpected friend. He was a very smart guy. One of the people unajua mnaitanga chopi, and you don't expect them to have such kind of habits and to entice people and also to be in part of the group. And then he told me, I'm just being a student. That was the it really hit me hard, and I understand some things they will end up doing because they're in that position, and they will not even care about the consequences and the responsibility. So what I will say about these challenges, it's only they need a guidance. We just need guidance, even as leaders. We just need a good guidance, and also to be mentored, and also to it takes a lot to make someone, and also to accommodate such kind of people. Yeah, and so you have to use another different approach.
Yeah. Marion, what are some of these challenges that you have faced and you have seen young people going through? As I lead?
Yeah, okay. For most young people, I think Governor Hope has talked about it. They're going through a lot of depression. There's a lot of depression among the young people, and it's caused by so many things. Even the drugs that we're talking about, most of them, they do that because they're depressed. There's a lot of anxiety and depression. Yeah. So, and then another reason also is because of financial issues. That's a serious issue. I mean, an ideal young person would always complain that they're not financially stable. I mean, there's a lot of that. So you find that most young people, they start using means that are not godly, they're not good to make money. You find some can even join these bad groups, these secret societies like Illuminati and Freemasons. Some, they just get sponsors, so it's just been so bad. So I think there's a point in this society that we also need to bring in the spiritual aspect. Because this is where the young people can find hope, because they can find peace of heart. There's someone I preached during the lockdown. We used to have services online in our campus, and I preached about the peace of Christ, and so many students were calling me and telling me that message you are speaking to me. Because you find that what you need to know is that it is not what you see that will keep you from despairing, but what you believe. You might see around you there is no money, there is nothing, but as long as in your heart you believe that God is with you, you will not be stressed. Whereas another person does not have money, and you will go and kill themselves. So I think the greatest solution for these issues, we need to bring in the spiritual aspect.
Okay, now we are talking about challenges of the young people are going through. I will tell you, I would have told you to tell us your leadership. Okay, what can I say? Anyway, kama leader will explain, ama utuambie how you can deal with these challenges. But apart from that, let us just talk about the challenges that you face, you as a leader.
Okay, the challenges I can say for me that I face as a leader, it's very hard to actually execute some things, because you find you have opposition. Like for my case, I have opposition. So once you say something, they always want to say no. They want to do their own way, And to deal with young people, it's very hard, because some of them, you need to actually put yourself in their shoes so that you can be able to deal with them, because people are different. You find so that you can deal with a certain person, you have to also think how he's thinking, so that you can be able to understand what the person is actually saying. So to execute things becomes a very big challenge. Also, I would say in my daily life, it becomes a challenge to actually even do my own things, because
you're
every time you're always committed to dealing with students. Every time you have to, there's someone with an issue, you have to go and attend to that issue. You in fact even forget about yourself. you find you're doing things and you're not even done things that you're supposed to do. Yeah, so even for my case, you get your academic life or chapter in your life becomes a challenge, because every time there's an issue, you have to go and attend to that issue. So at some point you might find yourself, if you aren't careful, you find yourself you're actually leaving your academic side. You're putting it aside and you've actually forgotten about it. So once you forget about it, it can even mess your education and performance. Yeah, those are the challenges that I've faced personally. And also people not even liking you for no reason. just because you are there. I don't like Hope because she's the deputy president. I don't like her. I was supporting the other person. So you see,
I had someone saying kwamba it's only in Kenya where somebody will tell another person that I don't like this person kwa sababu damu yangu na yake haipatani.
even in Akwanga, that's how it is. Like you can hear someone saying, Ami spendi Hope. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu Ami sikuwa na support your team yao. Hata wana nibo. You see, I haven't done anything, but that's the hate you actually get. But you learn to live with it, and you have to accept the fact that you can't be for everyone. You can't be there for everyone.
Francis.
I think we experience in only that we're in different locality and in different setups. In my case, I'm the direct immediate chair, the former chair. I handed over recently. I think I've said that before. And therefore, in that area of my leadership, now in a church setup, the CEO is a big deal at some point because it's a whole group of people. It is like a church by itself. And whereby you have students. It's a spiritual movement. You have students, almost 200 or 300 students who are members in that union. And also you have an executive board. You have other leaders who you are operating with, and you are there now being the chair. So you'll operate in two dimensions, on a spiritual point and also as an organization. Because there's documentation of things, the report making, their finances that need to be managed. The students are the one who manage even that money, the CU money. But I think in our setup, in my institution, I really love the way I found it, and even being given the opportunity to interact with it, being now the chair, at that moment, it is very well set up, because we have a constitution, we have policies that guides us. So finding yourself with mess, it's very minimal. And therefore, I think with that guidance, with also now, but the challenge now comes whereby it's a spiritual movement. You are also a student. You are also a youth. You see, college. Kuna vitu wana expect wewe kama spiritual father, ama you behave like a father. And so kuna vitu wana expect utafanya na pale ukiingia, you are also somebody who is learning. You are also somebody, you have never been there before. So you also make mistake. And you also try to make, you'll try to hide that professionalism and to be a professional in whatever you've been interested into. And therefore, you'll find if you don't check well, you may end up losing yourself. Because you will be trying to hide, one of the things that inamaliza youth leaders, the ability to speak out their issues. Wanajifichianga tu mtu anataki, because unaona ukienda pale utachomewa. So like Hope ako na enemy pale, wanangojea tu apate kitu kimoja hivi wampige nako. You get in the point. So it is a big challenge to many of us, and hapo kwanza uko na spiritual point, uko hivi watu wanaona they expect something from you, and you are still a human and all that. And therefore but I thank God all the same, you get to learn, and you also you try now to balance out your education, because also the education, especially the education part, at some point it gets to be very much affected. Because now being now the spiritual leader, you need to meet also some spiritual problems that people are encountering. Are you getting the point? So people will come for counseling, they'll come for guidance, they'll come with some issues that are beyond you, and they don't want you to share it with someone else. They just want you to solve it. And in that position, maybe you're not have that to effectively help that person. So these challenges, I think we also need some other superior guidance, and also to involve God in all our dealings. I think it will really help us.
Sometimes you leaders, okay, me as a person, when I look at you and I say like you're my leader,
Yeah.
I don't know that you're going through also issues.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think you also lack those people whom you can tell your issues because
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
leader and you.
Very
Yeah.
true.
What are some of the challenges that you faced, Marion, in your...
On my side, on the challenges, you know, when you're a leader, you are very determined concerning the vision of the team that you're leading. Like there's where you want to get to. There's where you want, like for example, when I'm leading the Christian Union in campus, there's where I want to see that Christian Union. There's that revival, I want to see it among the young people. So the problem is that there are people who are not, they don't believe in that vision, or either they are not so concerned about it. They're just there. And some people just come for the Christian Union just as a casual thing. They do not have that inner desire that they want to see this thing going to where it's supposed to be. Because I believe God wants to revive the young generation.
Yeah.
So you find there are those people, they believe in that vision, they want to see it happen, but they don't bear the burden. They do not carry the burden. They're not ready to do what they're supposed to do. If we call out for prayer and fasting, they're not ready to come and pray. If we organize the worship experiences, they don't do anything. They just show up on the day of the concert park. Now with Marion, we are here for the worship experience. They just show up. They, according to them, it's fun. It's having fun. It's not like they are coming there to worship God and to be revived and stirred up in their hearts. And then another thing, you find that sometimes, or most of the time, the leaders under you, not all of them will believe in you. Some always believe that they can lead better than you. You know, there's that challenge. They always feel, I think if I was in this position, I would have done better. So they don't believe. Whatever you say, they are, no, that's no. No, they don't. So that's basically, I think that's in mostly that, for most leaders, I think that's what they go through.
Okay, and how do you people, okay, you have talked about a lot of things. You have talked about balancing between your academics and your leadership. You have talked about the way people, the way they don't believe in you, the critics and all that. Now, how do people manage all these things? In your own perspective, like Hope, how do you manage as a leader
All
to
this.
balance and to...
First thing is always to remain calm, always stay calm, always know when to do this and when to do this. For me, most of the challenges, I overcome them by actually even having good relations with people. Your relation with people actually helps a lot. In terms of academic matters, my relation with the lecturers, or rather even the administration itself, it's good. So first thing first, you always have to learn to balance your academic side, because you might find you've gone to so many meetings, you're going to so many events that you have forgotten to do a few things. But so that you can actually come back and replace the part that you have lost, you have to have a good relation with people. So once you have a good relation, you can tell them, okay, I would like to do this now, maybe you can help me out at a certain point. And they can help you out. They can even maybe book you for extra classes or something. And also I would say also learn to be yourself. Always never be defensive. Whenever you have a problem, the issues are becoming too much, because in politics you find people are saying, you said this in your manifesto, you have not even done. You see, and you know, sometimes it gets challenging because you can't execute everything. Okay, let me just say, you can't execute everything that you have said. Some of them you can lie. You can even lie. You can even lie. It's like the way you're told about the price of fuel will go down in 21 days, and it didn't happen. So that's how you just say some things. But once you continue to actually be in that position, you will find a way to you find other solutions that need to be done that will make people forget the side that maybe you use this for the manifesto. Because once people see the kind of person you are and you have good leadership skills, everything becomes okay. You'll be able to maintain people back to their normal state.
Wow. Francis, how do you manage challenges that you face in your life?
I would say also time is also a factor at some point, and therefore you need to create that time also try and manage these things. Because sometimes you will always be engaged with something, either in leadership, education wise, and also like in my case, I'm also involved in, at some point I'm also involved in business. Here there's a company that I work for, Mass Computers, and therefore how to solve these things out, it really requires a lot of spiritual intervention. So I really find peace in prayers and music, especially listening to worship musics and all that. Being in a quiet place, trying to relax. And then it took me some time to learn also that there are some things which can be done and there are some things which cannot be done. So I've really learned to let go of things that I cannot be able to do, and effectively do that, and also to explain to the people who are concerned, or maybe it's touching them in one way or another. And therefore, I think it's something that I've learned, and it's a hard learning, because you'll be pressed. Maybe there'll be a cost that you have paid, and then in a way that with time now you get adapting, and now getting now to know how to balance these things. So in the middle of these challenges, every challenge there's something that will always come in your mind, and through God's intervention now, through prayers and all that will help you just come in any situation that you will find yourself into. And God will just intervene in his own way. Especially in my case, I've seen God intervening in so many different ways. Yeah.
Beautiful. I believe love conquers all. I mean, love is the greatest. That's what the word of God says. So in whatever challenge that you face in leadership, especially when it has to do with the members disliking you, not believing in you, when it has to do with the people that you are leading, they are trying to fight you. Love is always the greatest weapon. Because, I also do psychology, and in psychology, we're told that one of the needs of a human being is to be loved. When you look at people who are depressed, most of them, they feel that nobody loves them. When you look at people who commit suicide, they feel like nobody loves them. Nobody will commit suicide when they know, I'm loved, people love me, you see. So the need of men is to be loved. So when you create a personal relationship with the members that you are leading and show them love, I believe they will come through. Even those that had, someone might dislike you, but it could not last long if you're just being good to the person, just the way governors talked about it. So I believe that will be one of the greatest, because even the people who are depressed, when you show them love, they feel embraced, and it helps them a lot. I believe that.
Okay, we talked before. We have been talking about challenges that young people face. Okay, as a leader, what can you say, or what can you recommend, or what do you think young people should get involved in so that we're able to epuka these challenges that they go through?
Okay. Well, young people should actually first, so that they can be able to overcome the challenges they face, one is to accept what they're being told. You find people wengine ni vichwa ngumu.
They have to listen.
You can come and tell someone to do this, he doesn't want to do this because suddenly doesn't like you, or maybe the person just doesn't feel like you can tell them anything. But once the problem is at stake, that's when they come back. Now that time, the situation it has become worse. So now at that point, they have to accept. Once they are told to do this, maybe it's something that will help. They have to accept. They have to come to reality. Actually, you have to come to reality and say, okay, now you are the one who's supposed to help me, so kindly just help me. Also, I think to even to believe in themselves as well. Young leaders or even young people don't believe in themselves. So when they have so many children, they can't think of any way they can be able to help themselves. So it becomes a big challenge to them. Also, and to avoid issues, to avoid bad company. Bad company can really ruin someone's life. You find even students in school, for example, for my case, they're in terms of maybe there's a political war or something during elections. So somebody does something that will eventually lead to suspension. So you have to advise them to kindly stay away from such things and avoid bad company, because you just get young people wanaambia twende hivi, tuende tukavute bangi pale, hatutakuna tupata. Unaona? Sasa ataenda pale avute bangi, but then once they are caught, that person will be like, ai, leo ndo nimeambiwa niende, na leo ndo nimeshikwa. You find those people that are, they have been taken to Makupa police station because, and that's the first time, he has never, hajazoea kufanya hivyo, that's the first time. Sasa you find, anaumia because of bad company. So those are the things I can advocate for a young leader or a young person to do.
I think most of the people, young people, tend to forget who they are.
Yeah.
They tend to forget what they have in life and their future.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, what do you recommend, Francis, in your part?
One thing I would say about talk about that issue is about motivation. Where are we drawing our motivation, our aspirations? Especially now, when it comes to bad company and all that, there's something that motivates them to be in that company. And also when you're speaking about bad company, I will also want to air this out, that bad company is not only a physical thing, where people just think, lazima we have a group. Enjoy imekwa in a way that people think it's only about a group. No, it's also about what surrounds you, every factor that affects your life. It will be a good company or a bad company, including the things you are listening to, the things you are watching, the places that, the location that you are into. So many factors determine maybe how you operate. And therefore you may not be a good, you may be an introvert and you don't interact with people and you don't have companies, but you are really listening into toxic things. You are engaged in seeing some things which are not good. You are corrupting yourself in a way. At the end of the day, you'll be messy in a point, and therefore I will advise that just attach yourself to something that you know is good, and also be concerned with yourself. Self-love, like love yourself. Always know that it is me. And young people, we have to learn that we don't have time. Sijui nini inatufanya tunakaanga ni kama tuko na milele. Being young, at some point unaona kama you have time and you have a lot of, you have time to do anything that you want. Life really goes, and the decisions that you're making now, they will automatically affect your future. And therefore, it's only that we just have to understand. There's this thing that I tell me, I'm on mimi nule mtu ambayo I will just tell you, and I will advise you accordingly to what I think you should do, but I will not follow you up. I will just be reminding you, and I will tell you this: calculate the risk, calculate the consequences, and if you find it worthy, then go ahead. And then they will learn. You'll be there ready to help them and help them rise up again. And after wamesoma hiyo, they will take up the path again. But why should we get to that point? So attach yourself to places and to things that will only benefit you and will self-build you. And let us understand that we need to go through some processes before we get the product. Let us be able to understand that we have to go through this process of being young, kwenda na hii maisha ya young age. At this stage, let us enjoy responsibly. Let us not do anything in that extreme. The Bible wants us to do things in extreme. Everything that we do, and you do it to an extreme, even if it is a good thing, at a point itakuumiza. So I think we should be able to understand our position, realize ourselves, open ourselves to things and healing, and just incubating ourselves to good stuffs.
Yeah, I agree with you, by the way. Bad company ruins good morals. That's why the Bible talks about that blessed are those people who do not sit with scoffers, who do not walk with the ungodly. So it means that the young people, what is ruining them mostly is the company. So I believe the solution is that the young people will just join the right company. For instance, if a young person is in campus, let them join the Christian Union and participate in all the activities going on there. And young people should not be idle, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I believe that will really help. Young people need to just get into the right companies. And I believe that we as young people ourselves, because I'm also included, we also need to be a motivation to other young people. We must lead by example. When we are the leaders, a leader leads by example. So let us live a life that it is worthy to be imitated by other young people. Because young people are those kind of people, they always have, whatever a young person is doing he's copying someone. An ideal young person, whatever they are dressing. When you look at their fashion dress code, either is copying Kim Kardashian or is copying a certain celebrity from, I don't know, whether it is Rihanna or Beyonce. So young people, it's just in them. They just like to feel a sense of belonging. So why don't we as leaders be the ones that they will imitate? Like, let's imitate Christ so that they imitate us, so that they don't have to imitate some weird celebrities that are leading them off.
Yes. I'm really getting a lot from you people. And okay. Oh, okay. So, okay, we are talking about leadership, and you are a leader. What's your leadership style in that position where you are in? How do you?
My leadership style is whereby you actually give your people room for opinions. You never become a kind of a dictator kind of person. You always give your people room for opinion. They give their opinions, and you entrust them to actually give good decisions, and then you make a decision out of it now. Because you can't actually work alone, just say what you want to do, you know. You can't work like that. That's how I work for myself.
Wow. Like now, as I've said earlier, that the CEO operates in a certain way. It's like an organization by itself. And therefore you have, like in my case, I had 14 executive members. And then we had another, they have their assistants. We have some committees. You see, now it's a big group that you're leading, and therefore you know you will need to come up with something that a very strategic style that will be able to accommodate everyone in that leadership position. So I really love a democratic point of leadership, a transformational one, servanthood. When we speak about democratic, it's whereby you just give them an opportunity to be open. You know, let them speak. And I really love that point, in a leadership ambayo, somebody will just talk to you direct and tell you that they are not comfortable with the decision that you're about to make, or maybe, you know, they are in that free point to feel that they can oppose whatever you're saying. And also being a servant, whereby you prioritize them more than yourself. There's this something that I really use. It's called subordination of personal interest to the interest of the general interest. This is a skill that many leaders take time to learn, but I think this is one of the things that I drew. This is something that so strongly that I'm really taking serious on in every position that I will take, whereby every person has an interest. And every person, including the leaders that you are working with and including yourself, you have an interest in any dimension, in any area of decision that you have to make. And therefore you need to learn to subordinate your interest, whereby it will go for the general interest. It will not meet your interest, or maybe a group of your interest. Sometimes you will find ile quorum ambayo inachukua certain interest ni kubwa, but deep we all know that it is only catering our interest, it's only favoring our interest. And therefore it's some point, if I really love viewing it to a point of what the general interest, you know, how are people going to benefit out of this leadership? The one that I'm entrusted, and the one that people, and also entrusting other people, because as a leader, your success will be counted on how many leaders you shall raise, not how many followers you shall have. Because God did not create us to have followers. He created us to be, you know, independent, very independent. Every human is independent, and everybody is a leader. And therefore you're not supposed to dominate somebody. That is very demonic and, and very bad. So you just need to help them realize that they are leaders also. And when you develop 10 leaders, you have 10 good generation. They will develop other leaders. And you have solved, you know, you can just solve something bit by bit, and you find we have a good country at the end of the day.
And you know, you have talked about something on this followers thing. You know, today you see social media is the ground. Everyone is looking at who is following me on Facebook, on Instagram. There's a Threads app that came. Everyone who is following me on this. And you know, sometimes, like you've just said, when you are a leader, you have to look at how many leaders have you raised. So sometimes say this one person is following you, but huyu mtu kuna there's something different that unajenga ndani yake more than you can have 100k people and there is nothing that you're helping them. And you know lead to in wrong motives. So this followers thing I think is also any vile umeleta it's something that it has to be checked.
I think Kumasi, you should also in your team maybe during this with this platform think of how you can help us as young people because there's a system that has been created especially in our mindset and we are growing in this system of competition, the system of now the following thing. It's really affecting many of us. It's really affecting many of us and therefore I really love even the initiative and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Marion, what is your leadership style?
Okay, my leadership style, number one, I lead by example. Whatever I expect the people I'm leading to do, I first lead by example. And it's the we thing. It's not me always having to be the final say or always having to make decisions. Of course, people will give suggestions, and at the long run, I have to give the final suggestions. If there are just too many suggestions, I have to stand up and give one final verdict. But apart from that, when I'm a leader, there are leaders below me and there are leaders above me. So what I do by leading by example is that I obey the leaders above me. So because what the Bible says that whatever you sow is what you reap. When you sow obedience, you reap obedience because respect and honor is earned. So when I honor the leaders above me, those below me, they will respect what I say. So that's what I do, and I also respect the people that below me. That is my kind of leadership style. And what I do in leadership is that I talked about understanding heart, understanding the people that I'm leading. So I try to find what is it that is good in different people that I'm leading, the gifts of God in the people that I'm leading. Because I believe different giftings, when we come together, we can do a lot. When you're able to sing, you're able to play the drum, you're able to preach. When we come together, we can do a lot. So I delegate responsibilities. I don't do everything on my own. So that's my style. I delegate, even in the Christian Union, I delegate responsibilities according to your gift, the gift God has given. Because that's how it's supposed to be, even according to the Bible. That there'll be apostles, there'll be evangelists, there'll be pastors, there'll be singers. So we are one body, different part, but one body. So a leader, I believe in delegating responsibilities according to the different giftings that the members have. That's my style.
Okay, you've told us your styles now. I would like to know what are these things that you have, like you have seen success in your leadership. If you get this in your mona, zime happen since you started being a leader in your part.
Okay, in my part, the things that I have initiated rather, or the success that I have seen, been able to actually help a lot of students to get to do in the academic life. Actually, you find that in school there's so many challenges about academic issues and finance issues. So in terms of finance issues, you find you've actually solved. I've solved a point that students didn't used to get bursaries, but now students get bursaries now. And also in terms of the academic life, you find you also have to help them in the academic life in terms of some of them have been deregistered, some of them have issues like supplementaries and all those things. So you have to also bring them to a point that instead of their life ending in campus, like some students face a lot of problems. I have a retake, nitaenda wapi, so you have to help them out, whether you like it or not, but this is your student because you're a leader to them, so you have to help them. Also in terms of the school as a whole, we have initiated a few programs, mentorship programs, also mental health programs. There's a time maybe find students are even killing themselves for no reason. So you just give these mentorship programs, mental health. They come and talk to the students. They come and help them out in depression and anxiety. At least once it's done, you have left a legacy and you have done something for the students. Also, you also help them in business. You help students to create business opportunities. Once you get a business or you get a job, naambia kuna job mahali, so unaweza kuja hiyo job. Yes, so this student once amepata hiyo job anasema by the way alinisaidianga, unaona. So you have to give these students even connections to attachments. Unasaidia mahali utaweza. That's what, yeah.
Wow. Success you've seen?
The success I've seen some very good success, and I've achieved some things out, and I really thank God for those achievements. Back in high school, there's a period that students really used to strike and all that, and therefore I was very new to that school, and I know I took the courage. I went to the principal, I initiated a program on a peaceful campaign on why should, a mentorship program that took the whole week, and the principal was really, pleased with it, to a point of he bought lunch for all of us. So it's one of the things that really motivated me, even in my place of leadership, because we had an activity that took the whole week, where we mentored, we talked to the students, talking to their peers also. We are at the same level, we talked some sense with them. We tried to reduce that pressure, people striking and all that. It was a very good thing. And also I've also done some session guidance and counseling, especially when I was in high school also. I was trained also as a peer guidance and counseling person, and therefore I really counseled so many students. It also helped me to be a better person, because you cannot, they always look up to you. And also here in school, also in our institution, I've really tried to mentor so many people, and even some leaders. They are now even in leadership position, even during this political period. I was able to meet them at a personal level, discuss with them, encourage them, and I saw them even passing. Also support them in any level that I was able, at some point even financial. And through God's help, when I see them there, I'm happy. And also the personal benefit that I've seen, and the achievement that I can say, is the ability to that self-belief that you can do something. Also for me, going for that presidential seat, it was a big achievement to me, because I saw the influence, the kind of influence I had in our institution. And talking the truth, it was a good one. But even if I did not make it, I really appreciated the way that students were very, very much eager, and they were very supportive, to a point even what was nilikuwa na nyuma sana ni the way people, they were coming, and some of them even were going to sleep, some of them wakicommit, they feel like lying and all that. But it's something that showed me the level of influence that I had, and also that I can also help them in another way. Therefore, in mentorship, counseling, and so many other things, in any level, I've been helping some students. Yes.
Okay, Marion.
Okay, on my side, I have 3 different departments. So when I begin with the Bible study department, I think one of the greatest achievements is during the lockdown. I mean, that was the time that everything was off, but the CU was so strong. We used to do Bible study online, and people the turnout was so big. So that was, to me, it was a great thing. And when we come into the music department, so we've been so privileged. We've been able to go to the main campus severally to perform. There's the music department and there's the praise and worship in CU. Those are 2 different things. So yeah, those are 2 different departments. So the music is when we went to the Nairobi, University of Nairobi main campus, and I actually represented the school in the music, and luckily I was 3rd position out of so many students. Yeah, there were so many students. It was a music competition. So that was in the music. Then when we come to the praise and worship, it's been tremendous. The praise and worship departments, we have done worship experiences. The last time we did with KU, we did a collab with them. Then we have had meetings with the CU leaders in TUM. The last time we went with our director is called Dr. Saga Kinyanjui. We actually went twice. We even attended the services, and we had a good interaction with the CU leaders from TUM. And the last time I went for their worship experience, I felt like I was in heaven, by the way. So something bigger is coming up. So another thing is that, of course, with the help of our former governor, we were able to host great speakers. Like one is Miss Charlene Ruto, the daughter of the president of Kenya, and she spoke to us at the Swahili port. So we've also invited other guest ministers in the Christian Union that have helped the students to actually grow spiritual. So we have greater places we are going, we have a greater visions. And then another thing, luckily for us, our governor, Miss Charlotte, is actually in the CU. She actually, before she became a governor, she was actually a CU official. So we work hand in hand with her, and she supports us in everything. Even our director, Dr. Sarah, she supports us 100% the CU because she's born again. So we have an upper hand, and we thank God for that.
Okay, you have talked about vision. Now, as a leader, there is something that you look forward in future to be. Okay, you can be here, and maybe you're planning in future you run also for presidency in Kenya, for any other post. So what's your vision as a leader?
Well, my vision as a leader, first of all, I normally say this: once you start politics anywhere, you'll remain a politician everywhere. So for my case, I'd also like to be a politician one time. Yeah, because you feel like politics, once you start politics, there's that fun side, kuna ile katiko tamu, you know, and there's that part that you also feel like, you see, even when the other people are coming for elections, maybe other elections are being run in Tum, I will still be part of that election, but I'm not vying, but you'll be somewhere, hata kama ni mlango wa nyuma, you'll still be triggering something or somewhere. Yeah, politics always runs. Once you start it, I don't think you can never get rid of it. So yeah, my vision also as a leader is to become maybe a politician one time, and to actually help the people out there, the young people. You know, it's good for a young person to become a leader, because the other young people will also be fascinated and motivated. Hey, kama huyu ali make it, I can also make it. Yeah, so that's the goal.
Wow, your vision as a leader.
Now, there's that spiritual point, because they're involved also with godly stuffs, and now that especially I've grown my experience from the church, and therefore I think at some point I really love teaching the word of God, and therefore love to also to explore more and become a very good teacher of the word of God. And in terms of politics also, I'm also interested at some point with politics, because it really huwa inaniuma sana to see the kind of leadership that we have, and seeing the kind of leaders that we have in our nation. And now I think it's at some point we really need to change this thing, and we really need to change this attitude. We really need to change this tribalism, the corruption thing. Like, we really have to know that it's all, we are also involved, everybody is involved to better our lives and the people around us. Because even if you are good and the people around you are not good, you are going to be affected in a way. Therefore, I have that vision of maybe coming up with a good platform, maybe an initiative ambayo it will bring up young people together, whereby we will work together to bring this mentality, and especially finding the root cause of all this. Because if now you see Hope is an upcoming leader, at some point in one or another she will find herself in a good somewhere in leadership, even in our country. But now the foundation is the one that matters, because everybody is a good leader, like I've said there. Everybody is a leader, but now the mentorship, the journey in the leadership is what makes them to be good or bad leaders. And therefore we really need to come up together and think of a way that we can sit down, mentor ourselves up. Even as we are growing, we grow up knowing that it's for the interest of everyone, it's for the good of everyone, and bettering the lives of others is also bettering our lives. And God has entrusted us to make leaders and not followers, because the only way you'll dominate people is making them be followers. But let us help people to be leaders. Let us help people to better themselves, to kujijua, to know that they can contribute something to the society. That it's not only about us, but it's also about everyone. That God has gifted us in different areas in our lives, and He expects us to be leaders in those areas. And therefore, maybe in some way, Mungu akitusaidia, even in marketplace, I'm really passionate with business. Business is in my heart. And also I aspire to be one of the best businessmen, especially a Christian businessman. The one who will be able to do good dealings and make a good change and bring a good perspective on business. That Christians, they can also do business, and because there are some who are doing it, and also we can rise to such levels.
Wow.
Yes.
Your vision.
Okay, the vision we have as the Christian Union, first of all, we believe that in these end times that the Lord is going to raise young people and is going to use young people to do great miracles, signs and wonders in the body of Christ. So our vision is that the revival will come, that the young people will be revived, because the young people are actually hungry for God. If you can see how they are so hungry. When you organize a worship experience, they flock the place. They are hungry for God. So that's why whenever I preach to them, I always tell God that may this teaching and preaching of the word quench the hunger they have for you, Lord. So our vision is that we will see this revival, especially among the young people. Most young people, you find them in campuses, in colleges. Those are the areas you find young people. So actually, even on my side, that's where I love preaching. I love preaching to young people in campuses. I prefer that than I don't preach in church. I just preach to young people. In church, I just sing the choir, the praise and worship. So that's our vision. And we are getting there. We've had several meetings with different CU officials from different campuses, and we know that we will get there. And the revival is coming, especially through the music, through the worship ministry. So we believe that God is raising true worshippers in these end times, because He's always looking for people who worship His spirit and truth. So once this revival erupts, and it will be good. So all these problems we are talking about, the young people, drugs, what, young people will be saved. Many souls will come to Jesus. Millions of people will be saved. People will not go to hell. No, now young people are just living in sin, but they'll be saved. When the revival comes, everybody loves God. Yeah, so that's our vision, and we are there. We are getting there.
Indeed,
the revival is here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
you people have just informed me. I'm here, but I'm getting nurtured from you as our leaders. And so I would like you, as we wind up this program, as we wind up this show, if you can just tell something to the young leaders, you can advise something to the young leaders and the young people of this generation. If you can just tell them something.
Okay, I won't have much to say, but for the young leaders, one thing I would tell you, one thing I would like to advise you, is once you get to a point of leadership, you have to remember that being a leader is not only for oneself, but it's also for others. So remember to always, as you put yourself first, remember to put others first, because leadership is not only for personal gain. You are there to actually represent a whole multitude of people. So also to advise to the young people, remember to always stand strong. Remember to always advocate for what is right. I normally say, what is right is what is right. What is wrong is wrong. So you don't have to support someone because something is wrong. Always choose what is right at all times. And I think things will go on smoothly. And for the young leaders, upcoming leaders, those who want even to become leaders, you don't have to be afraid of anything. Just keep on pushing. And if you are ambitious to become a leader, I don't think there's nothing that can stop you. You just need to come and embrace the fact that you're a leader and show this to people out there, that you can become one, believe in yourself, and you're good to go.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
So I would just love to air this out, that to every young person, we are leaders. We are all leaders. And God has entrusted us to be leaders in different areas of our lives, in different areas of our gifting. And that's why God has privileged us to be in different posts, in different institutions, because there is that aspect. Everybody is gifted in a way. And therefore, I would love that you come and realize yourself in your gifting and be a leader in your gifting. We really need, this nation is depending on us. The country, the world is really depending on us as young people, because you are the leaders of tomorrow. And don't let our future to be corrupt by the leadership that we still have hope of good leadership, and you are the one who are going to deliver this. Therefore, believe in yourself, work out your leadership skills, better yourself up, be a good person to yourself first, and also be a good person to the people that are surrounding you. Be a good person to your family, be a good person to the institutions that you are into, be obedient, follow your leaders, be a respectable person, and in one way or another you'll find yourself in that leadership position. So therefore, believe in yourself and know that God is counting on you to be someone and to help someone and to change this nation. God is really counting on you. He does not show favorism to anyone. It's really dependent in every individual, every young person who is out there. We are gifted in different areas, and we cannot, we cannot be everything. I, as Francis, cannot be everything, and therefore I'm depending on you to be somewhere in this nation. I'm depending on you to be somewhere in this world, so that you can help me to achieve my goals and my dream. And therefore I can help you also in another way to achieve your goals and your dream. So be a good person. Let us be good people. Let us love people. Let us change this nation. Let us change this world. We can all do it. Thank you.
And to you, young person that is listening to me at this very moment, are you looking for answers to life? Do you have questions that you cannot find answers to? I have a solution for you. I mean, in this world, we have so many tribulations, there's so many problems, and so many young people are attempting suicide and are going through a lot of anxiety and depression. But I have a solution for you, and this is that you must follow Christ Jesus, because he's the answer to everything, to all the fundamental needs of life. Jesus is the solution. You might take this as a joke, but it's not a joke. This is a serious issue, I'm telling you. I mean, the Lord created you so that you may follow him. He called you into salvation so that you may follow him. So it is high time, you as a young person, that you will stop every other thing you are doing that does not glorify God. Because in this world, it is passing away, but only the word of God shall remain forever. So everything in the world, it is vanity upon vanity. Whatever it is that you are chasing the wind. Chase after Jesus. I want you to know that you are great. The Lord put something great in you, and the Lord wants it to manifest for the whole world to see. Because the light of God cannot be hidden under a table. It's supposed to shine all over the world for the whole world to know. So there's something great in you, but the only one that can take it out and let the whole world know is Jesus Christ. That is the solution, by the way. You want to be a doctor, you want to be a nurse, you want to be a lawyer, whatever you want to be, Jesus is the solution, because he's God who created you. He created you. He knew, I'm creating this one as a doctor. I'm creating this one as a lawyer. You want to be a great person. I'm creating this one. He's a great star. You want to sit with kings. I'm creating this one. You sit with kings. Now, the one who created you, you don't want to follow him. How will you be who he created you to be? How will you be if you don't want to follow him? So young people, it's high time that we stop joking. Let's get serious and let's follow God. Let's follow Christ. Yeah, be a good leader. Lead by example. Let other people imitate you. Don't tell people do this and you're not doing it. That is all I have for you. Thank you.
Wow. It has really been an exciting episode. It has really been an exciting show. I have gotten a lot from you people. She is an academic leader. I have gotten a lot from you. You have been a former CU leader. You are a leader in praise and worship, and also in CU. Wow, I've really acquired a lot from you people. And I believe that those who are hearing us today, young generation out there, they're going to get something that will also help them in their lives. And I believe that you as a young person outside there, you're also getting a lot from this show. We have been talking about leadership, but we have not just talked about leadership. We have also talked about different areas that young people face and different things that young people go through. And so you as a young person who is watching us today, just look for something and contribute something to this society. They are leaders. Find something that you can do as a young person that will help you nurture yourself, that will help you grow as a young person. Because I know that you as leaders, it has made you get something. You've grown in a certain point. So as a young person, grow as a young person and know the position that you can take to make things go in this world, to make things go in this nation. And this has been Youths on the Wheels show. I've been your host, Mercelline Kagelista, and I welcome you for more in OS Digital TV. And you can just hit the subscription button to get more from this same show. Thank you.